We are heading into overtime on 1620 The Zone. Shock the system. Welcome to the After Hours Lounge on 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone app, and 1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen
and John Schreiner.
We got a great show lined up for you. Did you just do something?
Yeah, your producer's not very good at his job. Let's just put it there.
Should we restart the show?
Take it from the top.
All right. Hey, well, welcome into the After Hours Lounge. I'm Jimmy Allen. That's Dave Campion. We are brought to you by Bellevue University. That slacker John Schreiner is on his way to North Dakota, I believe.
Minnesota,
same thing.
Going to St. Paul, Minnesota to take on the University of St. Thomas.
So good. That's right. That good call. You're correct. So good luck to the UNO women and safe travels to our good friend John Schreiner, who will not be with us tonight. But you got me and you got yourself. You can call on the show 402-951-1620. You can follow the show at After Hours 1620. It is a Wing Wednesday. You can head over to our Twitter page and follow us. Follow at Caddyshack Omaha. Retweet the GIF of our wings tonight. We will enter you into drawing to win a $25 gift card to one of Caddyshack's two great locations tonight. At 6:15, should the University of Nebraska be concerned about their spot in the Big Ten? The university president thinks that it could be a problem. The quarterback carousel in the NFL is just picking up steam and getting rolling. We'll tell you where the most interesting pieces land. And can Nebraska basketball punch their ticket to March Madness? We'll tell you yes or no at 7 o'clock. Then we have our Papillion Sanitation trash takes of the night. Tonight, I'm going to tell you which Big East head basketball coach on the men's side of things should be looking for a new job today. And at 7:30, our good friend Brian Munson from Husker Online and On3 joins us to talk about all things Nebraska recruiting. So you want to check that out for B Munson at 7:30 tonight. To open the show, I want to talk about the interesting pieces in the puzzle for Matt Rhule, who it's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Coach, if you're listening out there. We know you're a big fan of the show. But I don't think there's a more interesting piece than Glenn Thomas, and for a couple of reasons. Now, Sean Callahan caught up with Glenn Thomas yesterday and talked to him about taking this job at Nebraska, and he said that it checked all of the boxes. And I scoffed at that a little bit, and then I got to thinking about it. And for a guy who has been out of college coaching for as long as Glenn Thomas has now, obviously he was with Matt Rhule at Baylor and at Temple, but has been at the NFL for a while with the Steelers. And I was thinking about the perfect scenario I would want if I was a quarterback's coach or an offensive coordinator. And Glenn Thomas has the ability to be both of those things in just a few short months here. I thought, this might actually be the ideal situation. You're getting a team that didn't have very high expectations from their offense a year ago. You're getting one of the top flight quarterbacks in the country coming out of high school. And the guy that is still in the room that is already there doesn't have any, and that's if Heinrich Haarberg ends up staying in the quarterback's room, basically has had 1 year as a college quarterback. So you basically have a blank canvas to paint with. And your head coach is spending money and going out and getting players that are gonna come in and they should make an immediate impact right away. I think Jamal Banks is going to be one of those guys, and I still have very high hopes for Jalen Lloyd and Malachi Coleman, and you're adding Carter Nelson to the equation. But when you talk about getting added to a coaching staff that is already established, it's not all brand new from the ground up. Oftentimes you're going to walk into a situation where there's always the expectation of, well, we always did it this way. That's not going to be the case in Lincoln this year. It is going to look incredibly different than it did a year ago. Like, it's not even going to look remotely the same at any point this season as it did a season ago. And I think that's a huge benefit to Glenn Thomas. And I think it was probably part of the selling point for him as well, to come in and really be able to put his fingerprints all over this thing without disrupting the establishment.
Yeah, really, no matter where you're at, Jimmy, between angry and happy Husker fan, between pessimist and optimist of a Husker fan, you've got to admit that right now we're kind of in this sweet spot, especially for Glenn Thomas, where you can come in and you can say, hypothetically, barring the crazy things that always happen in a college football offseason,
Sure.
he's going to come in with a probably mostly healthy team with some grade A recruits and some grade A transfers. And he can build it in his own image. You used the painting on the canvas metaphor earlier.
Did you just compare Glenn Thomas to God?
Well, not necessarily, but
He used the phrase build it in his own image. That's the only reason I said that.
I mean, hey, you said it. Your lips,
Yeah.
his ears,
Right.
So, but yeah, you used the painting on the canvas kind of metaphor earlier. I was going to go with the block of clay kind of metaphor earlier. So it seems like we're in agreement on the fact that this is the right situation for Glenn Thomas. And it's a good time to be a Nebraska Cornhusker and to be a coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Yeah, it just feels like everything is falling into place. And I hate to beat a dead horse, but it feels like everything we're feeling right now is what we were waiting for from Coach Frost, from a standpoint of going out and getting a legit 5-star prospect and then adding a guy that plays offensive line that started 12 games in the SEC, and then getting a legit 4-star tight end who just a few days ago was out in an all-star game and looked the part. There were so many wait and see moments with the previous staff that it's nice to kind of see the game plan unfolding. Nobody that knows what they were looking at last year looked at Nebraska's offense and went, these guys get offensive football. And to see a coach go out and hire and put people around him that are smarter in those areas than himself and have the humility to do so is very refreshing. And I'm not like, take Scott Frost out of it. I'm talking in general. That doesn't happen in football a whole lot.
Yeah.
And usually it's the rare successful ones that do tend to make those decisions and try to better everyone around them. But listen, Glenn Thomas has to show it on the field, and Dylan Raiola has to be the real deal, and Carter Nelson obviously has to live up to the hype as well. But I really believe that all things are heading in the right direction, and this team is going to have to prove it come the week of March 25th, because it's not official yet. But that's when the spring game or spring practice is slated to start. And for me, this year's spring game, I think is even going to have a different feel to it than we even saw in the Frost era with those sellout games. And things are going to be a little different. If you haven't heard, there is an increase in ticket prices, and unfortunately, there won't be any more freebies for the kiddos. It sounds like kids' tickets are going to be roughly $5 as well. But tickets are going to go on sale for the spring game starting February 6th for season ticket holders, and then February 7th for non-season ticket holders. But it just... the Dylan Raiola effect is going to be interesting, and I'm sure we're going to see a handful of 15 jerseys. Now, we all know Matt Rule's thoughts on single-digit jerseys, and if you're one of the team captains or one of the leaders, you're expected to wear a single-digit. And Dylan has worn 15 his whole career, whether it was in Chandler, Arizona, or Buford, Georgia, and everywhere in between. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that aspect of it. That's obviously minute. I mean, that's a very small thing to overcome. But I mean, from a standpoint of probably the leading jersey seller this offseason, what number will he wear? I think it's an interesting dynamic. And I will caution you this, Husker fan. If you show up to the spring game and Dylan Raiola is 15, do not get angry if he shows up wearing like 2 come the fall. That stuff tends to change a whole lot over time. And I believe that you want to change some things to accommodate your stars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should go against who you are. And I'm not saying Matt Rule will, but if your philosophy is, and this is me just creating things that haven't even happened yet, but if your philosophy is, our stars our leaders should wear single digits, don't change that for anybody. Yeah. So, and I expect Dylan Raiola to be in a single digit jersey this spring. But
can I ask kind
Yeah,
of
go
a
ahead.
follow-up question off of that? Because this is something that I've always, I don't know, thought about, kind of pontificated on
great
within
word.
just football circles and with my buddies who really want to get into the weeds with me, which is few and far between in some days.
Sure.
And you're one of those guys. So does your quarterback have to be a captain on your football team or have to be one of the quote unquote leaders? Obviously, leader in the locker room, much different than like, proposed leader to the outside. Does he have to be one of those captains on your football team?
He doesn't have to be, but I think you have a lot of problems if he's not.
Okay.
I don't think it's a requirement, but I think it says a lot about who your leaders are. More importantly, it says a lot about who your leaders aren't, if that's the case.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a successful team that their quarterback wasn't a captain.
Yeah. Because I really think about it more. And again, this is probably a little bit too much, but I think about it more in like the NFL, where like CJ Stroud was trotting out there in his first season with the Texans. Again, disclaimer, not a great example.
Yeah.
He played like a leader. He was a leader on the field this season. He definitely earned
he's a
chest.
rookie in the NFL.
But it is the rookie quarterback with the C on his chest always kind of makes
Seems
me
forced.
go, "Meh."
Seems forced.
Because it's like, did the team actually vote for him, or was it like, all right, and that we have to give the C to?
Yeah.
And again, it's like saying almost, and again, this is another horrible example because he's going to be playing for a Super Bowl, but it's the Brock Purdy question.
Right.
He's got the C on his chest, and it's only his, second season technically as the starting quarterback.
Correct.
Did the team vote him for that C? Which I have no doubt that the 49ers did. But
I'm glad one of us doesn't.
Was it a Shanahan slap?
That feels more like a Shanahan slap. And I mean, it's not even like, and I think Brock's situation is a little bit different. I didn't think we were going to get there from that conversation, but Brock's situation is a little bit different because it's not just a rookie quarterback, or it's not a second-year quarterback. It's a second-year quarterback that was drafted in the same class as a guy that you traded up for to get the third overall pick, and he was taken as Mr. Irrelevant in that draft. So, to be honest, I'd be surprised if the team actually voted Brock Purdy a captain. And I would be amazed if it wasn't heavily influenced by Kyle Shanahan, because you've seen what it looks like when you don't go all in on a guy that you've drafted in Trey Lance. And Kyle, I'm here for it. Thank you for not doing that. But I think when you have as alpha male of a dominant locker room as the 49ers do, as most of the NFL locker rooms are, with guys like Nick Bosa, with guys like Fred Warner, Deebo Samuel, you've got some guys that are one-of-one type players, and having that embedded respect already for your quarterback that's significantly younger than most of the players I just named, I think is a huge deal. So that was probably a Kyle Shanahan special on Brock Purdy's special, or Brock Purdy's chest. But I absolutely believe that there's a benefit to making that happen and sending a message to the guys in your locker room. Hey, I understand that you guys are all 26 and older and have been in the NFL for a long time and have had a huge amount of success, but this is my team and this is our quarterback and this is the guy I'm choosing to go with. We need to respect him. I don't have a problem with that.
No, neither do I. And by the way,
Brock's got to be that guy, though. You can't just do that and then trot out Zach Wilson.
Yeah. And how quickly did I just forget about the fact that Trey Lance at one point in time was a San Francisco 49er.
But he was a captain.
Right out of my brain.
I try to forget every single day. You can listen to the show every single day. You can check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by our Wing Wednesday sponsor. It's Caddyshack Bar and Grill. Go out to our Twitter page at afterhours1620. Retweet the GIF of our wings tonight on our page. Go follow Caddyshack Omaha. We'll let you do a drawing to win a $25 gift card to Caddyshack. You can also stop by one of the two great locations tonight, 117th in Blondo or 180th in Harrison. They have $1.50 domestic draws and $6 domestic pitchers all night long. Stop out at Caddyshack Bar and Grill. It's the official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone. We'll be right back. Is Nebraska's spot in the Big Ten solidified? We'll debate. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. We all know that Jerry Ryan is the premier suit buying experience in the Midwest. But did you also know that they're the home for all of the brands that house Creighton athletic gear? You can dress like the coaches do at Jerry Ryan. Stop by 78th and Dodge. Dress like the coaches. Jerry Ryan's been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Clear to partly cloudy, not quite as chilly tonight, though we'll drop back into the low to mid 30s for a low. Mainly cloudy for Thursday. High temperatures still reaching the low to mid 50s and just a very slight chance of a sprinkle or two. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they host the San Diego Mojo on Saturday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. World-class professional volleyball right here in Nebraska at the CHI Health Center. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the Academy at 10700 Sapp Brothers Drive in Omaha or at GoingVerticalOmaha.com. That's GoingVerticalOmaha.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Take your business to the next level. Reach more customers and expand your online presence. Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Pixel Fire Marketing creates high-quality professional websites tailored to your business. Their experts are with you every step of the way to make sure your website is visually appealing, user-friendly, and optimized for search engines. They also offer web design, development, hosting, and maintenance. Get started on your website. Visit pixelfiremarketing.com. That's pixelfiremarketing.com now to learn more.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
6:21 on a Wednesday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you want to keep up to date on all things Bellevue athletics, head over to your smartphone and download the BU Bruins app tonight. It's time for the Who Wants to Smoke segment. And it's the interim president of the University of Nebraska, Chris Kubrick. And I listen, I've been saying this for a long time, so I'm really happy that somebody in power is kind of taking notice of this as well. But Sam McCune of the Omaha World Herald was talking to the interim president at Nebraska, and he unsolicited brought up the fact that nobody's spot in the Big Ten is guaranteed right now. And obviously, Kubrick's coming in and taking over for Ted Carter, who's now in Columbus. And he mentioned his history and what the future for him in Lincoln looks like. But then he was asked about conference realignment. And he mentioned that when the Big Ten adds schools like USC, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon, the Big Ten will have 18 teams, and 17 of which will be Association of American University members. The lone school that isn't is Nebraska.
Yep.
And there's been phrases thrown around like an unaccredited Big Ten school. Nebraska's academia has been kind of looked at with a nose up in the air by a lot of the other Big Ten schools. He also went on to say that Nebraska is not guaranteed a spot in the Big Ten 5, 6, or 7 years down the road. Now, Nebraska needs to look at the other schools in the Big Ten, obviously from the on-field standpoint, but also the academic side, and need to lock that up as well, in my opinion. But if you're the Indianas and the Rutgers of the world, and you're seeing Northwestern add $500 million facilities to their football program, and you're seeing the world that is NIL, I think you need to start feeling really uncomfortable and start taking a look at yourself and your other options in the future. Because I don't think just because you have a Big Ten patch on your chest right now, that if when the SEC and the Big Ten do split off to this higher level of college football, you automatically have a seat at the table. I don't think that's the case. I think there's going to be a very come to Jesus moment with some of the schools that are in the Power Four conferences. And just because, listen, if you saw what happened to Oregon State and Washington State this year, don't think that can't happen to you. Whether you're in Piscataway, New Jersey, or Bloomington, Indiana, and no, it does not matter how good your basketball program is. If you're not getting it done on the gridiron that it's generating money to universities, at some point the money is going to even out. The market always corrects itself, right? So if you're the NBCs, the ABCs, the CBSs of the world, and you're paying all this money to the Big Ten, and then you look and you see Purdue is playing Rutgers on a Friday night, do you really want that game? Or would you much rather have Ohio State, USC? Don't answer that. We know the answer.
Exactly.
It's one of those things that I don't think, if you're not a perennial top 25 team in college football and you're doing ratings, oh, and by the way, you better have a pretty damn good collective, you should not feel comfortable in the seat you're sitting in. I don't care who you are and what it is.
Yeah. And I want to dig a little bit further in, because I know obviously we're looking at this through a football lens and a money lens and a just kind of landscape of conference realignment that seems to be the true carousel of all of college athletics right now. But I want to go back to the first thing that you mentioned, the fact that we are not a part of the AAU.
Yeah.
Folks, if you don't know what the AAU does, I implore you right now, continue listening to our show, obviously.
Give a quick overlay.
Get your phone out and Google it, because the AAU is how teachers, professors at these universities vie for their contracts, and it is an actual bargaining chip.
It's a union.
Yeah, it is a bargaining chip that they have to work with their salaries in their university to legitimately be an accredited university. The fact that Nebraska is not in it is a humongous worry.
Yeah.
It should have been a worry long ago when Ted Carter was president. It should have been a priority that we are back in this.
Yeah, and a lot of people, when Nebraska made the jump to the Big Ten, didn't feel like it was going to happen without becoming an accredited university.
And I only am so heavy on it because when I was in college, I had a bunch of teachers as part of the AAU go through basically a strike for higher pay and for better wages. And when that gets denied, oh, let me tell you.
Yeah, it gets uncomfortable for everybody. It's probably a lot of the reason that Nebraska has tried to keep the Johnny Rogers Heisman pose for as long as they can, because working with a union can be difficult.
It can be, but at the same time, unions are beneficial to everybody.
I agree.
You remember those 2 days called Saturday and Sunday? Not exactly the same for college professors all the time, but those days called Saturday and Sunday are the reasons why we're not all in coal mines right now.
Hey, if you missed the Who Wants to Smoke segment tonight, check it out at SoundCloud.com/After Hours 1620 was brought to you by 402 Barbecue. You can stop by 3027 South 84th Street, Monday through Saturday from 11 to 6. Try my personal favorites, the Cadillac Sandwich. It's brisket, it's pork, it's topped off with their world-famous smoked mac and cheese. Make sure you mention Kelly and the team. You heard about them on After Hours. She's going to throw in a soda with the purchase and the mention of our show. It's 402 Barbecue, 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by tomorrow and grab lunch. The NFL quarterback carousel spins on and on and on. We take a look at it. We come back here on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Dan Campanen here for the most harmonious union, you and your roof. And is it getting a little drafty in your house? Is your roof leaking? Do your windows need to be replaced now that Old Man Winter has come and gone and might actually show back up again? Let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 straight years come out and take care of your roof, windows, gutters, or siding. They do it all. Call Pyramid at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at BUBruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career, not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they host the San Diego Mojo on Saturday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. World-class professional volleyball right here in Nebraska at the CHI Health Center. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the Academy at 10700 Sap Brothers Drive in Omaha or at GoingVerticalOmaha.com. That's GoingVerticalOmaha.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Take your business to the next level. Reach more customers and expand your online presence. Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Pixel Fire Marketing creates high-quality professional websites tailored to your business. Their experts are with you every step of the way to make sure your website is visually appealing, user-friendly, and optimized for search engines. They also offer web design, development, hosting, and maintenance. Get started on your website. Visit pixelfiremarketing.com. That's pixelfiremarketing.com now to learn more.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Call me with harmony.
You just want to wrap the next 2 hours? I ain't got nothing else better to do. Hey, it's the After Hours Lounge. We're brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for classes, you can sign up to become a Bruin tonight at bellevue.edu. Become a Bruin. Enjoy life. Dan, we've got breaking news. Dan Campanen, you can rejoice. Your Green Bay Packers have found their head coach. Or not their head coach, excuse me. They already have that. Matt LaFleur staying in Green Bay.
Yes, they do.
They found another head coach, though. Their defense coordinator spot has been filled by Jeff Hafley, who is expected to leave Boston College as the head coach and become the DC of the Green Bay Packers, ESPN reports. Quote from Jeff Hafley that I want to unpack here for a second. College coaching has become fundraising, NIL, and recruiting your own team and transfers. There's no time to coach football anymore. Now, we talk about Nick Saban, Coach K, Roy Williams walking away because how much the game has changed. And obviously, they get brought up in those aspects because of their age. Jeff Hafley is only 44 years old. It's not like the NFL is just looking for dudes. But do you think we start to see coaches who can't keep up with the Joneses in college football that are head coaches try to take coordinator jobs in the NFL for this reason? Do you think this is the start of a trend? Because it might be.
I think it is. And I also think that for most of these guys, I would assume that this is kind of the career path that they would be, I don't know if I'd say aiming for specifically, but
I think the vast majority of college coaches
one.
want to be NFL coaches. Yeah, sure.
And yeah, I think we're just going to end up seeing a lot of guys. And I mean, just look at the Packers, for example. What's the name of Wisconsin's previous head coach before Fickell?
Jim Leonard.
Leonard. That's right. Thank you. It was bothering me this whole time because when you started saying that, I was like, well, Jim Leonard was linked to the DC job last year
multiple times, yeah,
for the
sure.
Packers, and they were like, "Hey, we can keep you in Wisconsin. You
Yeah.
don't really have to relocate your family all that far. You know, you can just move up
Or
to
at
Green
all.
Bay." Yeah, technically, you wouldn't really have
Yeah.
to move your family whatsoever. And I don't know. I think it's one of those things that to me is a bit of a wait and see. But if I were a college head coach right now and I said, "Hey, I've had a modicum of success. Maybe if someone does come knocking on my door, now would I leave for an analyst position? No.
Right.
Would I leave for a coordinatorship? Yes. Because I think you get a little bit more of the reins in that case. And Matt LaFleur has proved himself time and time again that he is not a specifically defensive-minded coach. So those reins are definitely in this gentleman's hands right now.
You know who
I can appreciate it.
You know who I'd love to give some truth serum to and get the honest answer out of them? I would love to hear Todd Monken's thoughts on this. Like, specifically, obviously, a ton of success at Georgia, goes to Baltimore, has the number 1 offense in the NFL this year. Probably going to have the MVP. He should be. And if he was offered the head coaching position at Boston College right now, how does that compare to what he's doing as the offensive coordinator for the Ravens? Now, maybe the Ravens are a little bit different because you got a guy there that wears 8 that also wears Superman's cape.
Yeah.
But like, what interest would Todd Monken have in the Boston College head coaching job right now?
Well, and my thing, and I know it's, you know, like the Wu-Tang Clan said best, cash rules everything around me. I'd like to know if that is part of it. It's also for the children.
Yeah.
But I would wonder if, you know, maybe it is a monetary factor at some point where you have to say, hey, this is a great career opportunity, but at the same time, I am getting paid more maybe.
And Boston College
as a head
isn't
coach
USC
at Boston College.
either.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to know, like, why the decision specifically was made. I don't take it on face value that he's, I can't really coach anymore. It's all about recruiting and I have to be recruiting, because that's kind of always how college athletics has been. It's always been about recruiting the best talent to come to your school. Now, as we've said multiple times on this program, national programs, every single program, on the street corner, I heard it the other day. Some guy just yelled it out. Hey, NIL is hard to deal with.
People forget.
And it truly is. So I do wonder if that is going to be the real push that we're going to see from some of these guys, is that they have to say, hey, I can't wrap my head around these situations anymore. And I don't want to get in any trouble, because it seems like, you know, it's just like when new laws come up, there are always things that have to get worked out, and there are little intricacies to stuff that needs to get figured out. And that's kind of, you know, where NIL has been sitting for the past year and a half, 2 years, where it's, well, you can do this, but you can't do this. And it's a very thin razor of a line kind of in between the yays and the nays.
I think I found Jeff Hafley's problem. So from an article posted on Boston College on bcnews.com, back in September, Boston College has a campaign called Soaring Higher, in which they're trying to raise $3 billion for the school, according to the website, to help increase financial aid, student life, and prioritize academics. Think any part of the head coach of the football program looked at a fundraiser for $3 billion and there wasn't athletics included in that and had a problem with it when he's trying to compete with the Florida States of the world?
It's a really simple answer. Yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably his biggest issue with that. Yeah, nothing in here about the NIL Collective or Boston College Athletics. That's from September of 2023. So, and that's got to be a frustration too, right? I mean, I'm sure there are several schools around the country where the head coach is having to have conversations with, whether it be the athletic director, the school chancellor, or whoever it may be, about raising money for sports. And you're talking to people of academia, and there's not necessarily a meeting of minds in that situation. But to go from a head coaching position willfully to a coordinator position, and listen, maybe there was a hot seat discussion as well for Jeff Hafley. I highly doubt that's the case. Boston College has been pretty respectable over the last 3 seasons. But if there's 7-6 this year, 3-9 a year ago, a bit of a slight, but other than 2022, he's won 6 games or more in every single season at Boston College. So he's had some success while he's been there, but he's never been able to get over the hump. But there's always been a respect for Boston College, especially that defense, since he's been there. So I can't imagine it was, hey, I might be coaching for my job next year. And I don't think the Packers are necessarily hiring a guy that is coaching for his job to take that position either.
Yeah. And so I did finally get his bio pulled up while I was, doing a couple other things on the computer here. And he was actually with your San Francisco 49ers.
He was
up until 2018 as a defensive backs coach. So I will say,
yeah, he's a Robert Saleh guy.
Maybe it was one of those, hey, we want to move back to, want to get back to the NFL in some way, which also you just said Robert Saleh guy.
Not going great for him either.
Personally, I love it. You got a Wildcat in the head coaching position.
Right.
At the Packers. And now you got a guy who is mentored by a Wildcat. We won't mention his actual first name, even though we've already done it twice.
Yep.
But it bodes well for the state of Wisconsin to have people with Northern Michigan University ties around there.
We didn't get to the NFL quarterback carousel, but I want to later in the show. But if you missed any of the update about who the Packers are hiring as the defensive coordinator, you can check it out at SoundCloud.com/AfterHours1620 was brought to you by Going Vertical Omaha. Going Vertical is the premier training facility in the Midwest, working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way up into the pros. If you have a high school player that needs help getting recruited, there's a podcast studio where they're gonna interview the players. They'll come in, they'll get tested for combine style training. They can do an interview on their podcast, put it up on their recruiting profile, and get your player in front of coaches today at Going Vertical. Check out the academy at goingverticalomaha.com. We're going to find out what's trending on social media when we come back here on 1620 The Zone. Did you hear that? It's your stomach. It's growling. Feed the beast at Pepper Jack's Grill. There's 10 great locations throughout the Omaha area you can stop by. They got multiple options. Maybe you want a steak Philly. If you're trying to cut red meat, they've got chicken options. If you're trying to be healthier, you can get a salad. They even have nachos. Get a side of fries to go with it if you're trying not to be healthy. Pepper Jack's has it all for you tonight. Stop by and grab dinner. 10 great locations in the Omaha area.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they host the San Diego Mojo on Saturday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. World-class professional volleyball right here in Nebraska at the CHI Health Center. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it, they have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is spaghetti night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddy Shack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at 10700 Sap Brothers Drive in Omaha or at GoingVerticalOmaha.com. That's GoingVerticalOmaha.com.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.47 on a Wednesday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking to sign up for classes, head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, and become a Bruin tonight. It is time for the social media soundbite where Dan Campinen surfs the web, finds the most topical video for us to talk about, which is
DePaul last night scored 39 points in a 40-minute college basketball game. Here,
that's not great, folks.
That is bad. Some would almost say bad. But this is how it ended. For those of you who are listening in an audio or only format, the Blue Demons of
out of Chicago
were taking on the Pirates of Seton Hall. In the final 19 seconds at the end of the game, Seton Hall was at the line, shooting either a 1-and-1 or, 2 shots.
It was a 1-and-1.
That just makes this even worse.
Yep.
So shooting a 1-and-1 at the line, the guy bricks it off the back of the rim. It lands directly, and I mean directly, in one of the Blue Demons' hands.
It's Deshaun Nelson, who's a JUCO guy who should know better.
And he decides, so casually, on a 1-and-1 miss, to pass the ball back to the ref. For those of you who are unfamiliar with how the game of basketball works, after you miss a free throw, that ball is live.
Yeah, because if
you're allowed to take it to the other end of the court and attempt to score once again on your own basket.
And let's preface this with DePaul was down 72-39 at this point. As you can hear from the commentator's voice, not too many people were vested in this game. But if you look at the gentleman standing next to Deshaun Nelson, it's Isaiah Coleman from Seton Hall. He was like actively going to make an effort to try to get a rebound. And when he's seen how effortlessly it was going to fall into Nelson's hands, he just like backs off of it and then just like freezes in time when he just throws the ball out of bounds, and the official's reaction maybe even better, where he just kind of like Ricky Bobby's I don't know what to do with my hands at the ball and lets it roll out of bounds. Like, this is why you're DePaul. Like, listen, you should never ever in a conference game lose by 40, which they came very close to last night. But the fact that there's no attention to detail from this team, there hasn't been for a long time. That's why they've been the doormat of the Big East for as long as they have. I don't know who's going to take that job. Obviously, Tony Stubblefield just got fired midseason, which almost never happens in college basketball. And I don't even know what to say about DePaul basketball. I mean, Matt Brady, hats off to you, man. I don't know what you're going to be able to do to try to even do anything that looks remotely close to play organized basketball for the remainder of this season. Like, if you're this team, if you're anybody that puts on a blue Demon jersey for the remainder of this season, like, you have to know you're auditioning to be able to play more basketball going forward next season. Like, maybe you don't care about Chicago. Maybe you have no ties to DePaul University and you're just ready to get the hell out of there. That might be the case, but you're auditioning for whoever your next head coach is. So you should probably put a little more effort into the case.
Yeah, and maybe just like pour a little bit of brain back into you. But Jimmy, I want to move on to maybe a lighter note.
Okay.
To end our social media soundbite, if
All
that's
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I did get.
Do we have more breaking news?
No.
Okay.
No. We don't have to hit potty just yet. But I saw a little heartwarming thing this morning, and I said, "Oh, that's actually kind of nice." So we have a potential full circle moment in the NFL in 2 weeks. So as you well know, there's a guy, he's like number 23 for the 49ers. He's some big deal or something like that. I don't know who it would be. But his dad apparently was also fairly good at football and played for a gentleman by the name of Mike Shanahan. And they won 3 Super Bowls together. And if you haven't heard Jimmy talk ad nauseum about the 49ers like I have, you'll know that the coach of the 49ers is a guy by the name of Kyle Shanahan.
Huh.
Ed McCaffrey's son is a pretty famous running back by the name of Christian McCaffrey.
Luke? Oh, Christian. Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. They have the opportunity to win a Super Bowl together in 2 weeks. So it's just a nice little full circle moment. If they can win that Super Bowl, it'll be father and son teams going and out and getting the dubs.
Yeah, and like I know Matt Rule gets a lot of flack for the Christian McCaffrey trade that he had absolutely nothing to do with, but how that team with that stacked of an offense with Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk was able just to add Christian McCaffrey, arguably the most dangerous weapon in the NFL at the time, to that roster for basically a bag of peanuts is incredible to me.
And you know what I liked a lot about when they were, when the game was getting a little bit further out of hand and it seemed like San Francisco kind of had it in their back pocket, they were talking a lot about Christian McCaffrey and they were shining, a bit of a light on him, which if you don't know, Christian McCaffrey gets the light shined on him all the time.
Do you know that San Francisco didn't give up a single first-round draft pick to get him? Think about that. They gave
That's
up
disgusting.
They gave up 4 picks, a second, a fourth, and a second, a third, and a fourth in 2023. So last year's draft, and a 5th in this year's to get Christian McCaffrey. John Lynch, you are my hero.
You're a mastermind, my friend. But they were talking about Christian on Sunday, and they were like, it's always nice to see how the 49ers don't abandon the run with him, because he'll pick up 3, he'll pick up 4, maybe 5 yards. And then all of a sudden, as I unfortunately had to witness against the Green Bay Packers, he'll just bust one for 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60 yards.
What I like even more than that is how Kyle Shanahan puts him in position to be successful. Like, look what happens when you see, like, it's almost like clockwork. Christian McCaffrey will have a run for 2 to 3 yards or not what some may look at as a non-successful run. Yeah. They almost always line him up in the slot on the following play and basically run a screen to him or a quick hitter because it's the same as a run play to try to get him going and get him more touches. Like it's one of those things that he is that valuable of a weapon. It doesn't matter where he lines up or where he's standing or what position he's in. You could take advantage of some mismatch anywhere on the field. You don't have to turn around and hand it off to him. But that's where he's most dangerous.
Oh, and one more thing real quick. For all you ladies out there, I'm not going to play it because the audio is just non-existent, basically.
Sure.
But if you like hot shirtless dudes by the name of Christian McCaffrey and Kyle Juszczyk, they had the day off today, but they were at the 49ers facility. And Kyle Juszczyk is basically, I mean, I know it's a pair of shorts, but he's basically in a Speedo.
Okay.
He has modified his shorts into a Speedo. And Christian McCaffrey is, just Christian McCaffreying it up shirtless. And they are just catching some rays and working on their golf swings. Ladies of the After Hours Lounge, go search that on Twitter. I promise you will not be disappointed.
If you missed any of the social media soundbite tonight, check it out, soundcloud.com/afterhours1620 was brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. You need help with social media marketing, online advertising, or website design. PixelFireMarketing.com is here to help. Their social media experts will ignite your social media presence, entice your ideal client, and engage your brand and help your business today. They're also located right here in Omaha. You don't have to work with somebody out of state to build you a website, design you a logo, or just help you get your commercials on social media in the right spot. Check out PixelFireMarketing.com and have Dan DeSive and his crew help you today. We'll be right back. Buying or selling Jerry Jones on 1620 Zone.
Folks, Jimmy's going to make me talk about Jerry Jones. And while everyone wants to sell on Jerry Jones, you know what you should never sell on? Dressing your naked house up, because Forsman's Finest Decks is going to let you know that even though cooler temperatures have arrived, they can dress your house up and help it if it suffers from naked house syndrome. Let the finest deck builders in Omaha come build you a deck, put a cover on it, and add that something that your house has been missing. Head over to forsmansfinest.com and book your dream deck to be built this winter. Forsman's Finest Decks, building the finest decks in Omaha.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at BUBruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they host the San Diego Mojo on Saturday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. World-class professional volleyball right here in Nebraska at the CHI Health Center. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to ForsmansFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out ForsmansFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
$7:02 on a Wednesday night here on 1620 The Zone. Brought to you by Papillion Sanitation. You can head over to Papillion-Sanitation right now and start your new career today. If you want to become a driver but you don't have a CDL, they can help you get one. There's also a $10,000 stick-around bonus as well. Speaking of money, we're buying or selling here on After Hours with Dan Campen's questions. What do we got?
Indeed. Jerry Jones was talking to Yahoo Sports in his home state of Alabama at the Senior Bowl. He was asked about working with Bill Belichick, and he said there was, quote, no doubt he could work with the former Patriots head coach in the future. Buy or sell, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy's seat getting just a little bit hotter.
I think it's a little warm right now, obviously with the way they fell apart, being the 2 seed in the playoffs. But I mean, it's Bill Belichick. What is he supposed to say? Nah, we're good. We don't want a 6-time Super Bowl champion coaching our program at any time. We don't want a guy that's got more rings by himself than our entire franchise put together. No, thank you. I mean, Jerry needs to do a better job of filtering his thoughts. That's never really ever been his strong suit. But I mean, I just don't get what the point of bringing everybody back next year and then making statements like this is. I'm buying it's getting a little bit hotter. If I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm not that worried because they're obviously bringing you back. And do you really believe Jerry Jones here? Because if you're getting Bill Belichick, you're also getting GM Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And Jerry's not giving up the reins.
No, he's not. And to be fair, I think Jerry Jones has kind of always operated on
Jerry Jones's time.
bluster and goodwill. And yeah, Jerry Jones's own thoughts, ideas, and positive or negative mental capacity in certain football decisions.
That's one way to word it.
I mean, let's all remember, take a trip in the Wayback Machine and remember that Jimmy Johnson at one point in time got fired from being the Cowboys coach.
Somehow, yeah.
A success of a coach gets fired. So I was actually really surprised when McCarthy came back after the way that they lost to the Packers, just in general. And I mean, when you make statements like this, it makes me think that I want to buy McCarthy's seat getting a little hotter. but I sell that it's because of Jerry Jones's own action.
And especially for a guy that's been a bit of a star chaser his entire career, he being Jerry Jones, to have a situation where you're justified. Well, I think most people would say are justified in firing a head coach with guys out there like Belichick, like Harbaugh. I thought for sure that Dallas was going to move on.
Yeah, I thought they would have. And if they would have done it, they would have done it early and they would have done it fast.
Yeah. They've already decided to bring everybody back, but that just surprised me. What else do we got?
Well, I guess it's time to defend my boy tonight.
Your boy.
Yeah, my boy, Anthony Edwards. He was fined $40,000 by the NBA after he dropped this little soundbite saying, well, I didn't pull it up. I apologize. So I'm going to do my best.
Give me your best Anthony Edwards.
Man, I'm going to take the fine. The refs missed a whole bunch of calls tonight, specifically the one at the very end of the game on my arm.
Which he got hammered, by the way.
Yeah, he did not say that, but let me just tell you, if you go look up that refs report, you'll see why it's a worthy fine. But buy or sell, in your opinion, Jimmy, this fine being worthy?
Yeah, listen, I don't think guys should ever get fined. Like you're taking away their freedom of speech, which I'm always against. And just because they're speaking negatively about the officials doesn't mean it's correct. And all you're doing is censoring people for the sake of doing it. Officials need to be held accountable, and I don't think guys should ever be fined. So I'm buying that he should stand on whatever soapbox he feels like he needs to.
Yeah, and I'm going to buy as well, just because, number one, I'm defending my boy Anthony Edwards, the future of the Timberwolves. And number two, if you really saw that play between him and Shai, it's like his whole hand is wrapped around Anthony Edwards' forearm. So it's a worthy fine just for that one call right there. But also, real quick, if I just must say, number one in the West again, baby.
I was like, where is this going?
I didn't want to play the full Shabazz Khan video that he puts out where it's just the werewolf howl from Werewolf of London the whole time.
Yeah, and listen, you got to feel good if you're a Timberwolves fan right now, and credit to, I want to give credit to Anthony Edwards too, because yes, he was taking shots at officials, but he made sure to give it a point to give credit to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the rest of the Oklahoma City Thunder team in that soundbite. And I get that it's an ironclad. Hey, if you bash officials, it's an automatic fine. Blah 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 blah. He probably did it in the classiest way I've ever heard somebody bash officials, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he did it in probably the softest way he could have, because he could have ripped it up on Bally Sports Minnesota, and he said, you know what? I'm going to take the fine. And in polite white guy speak, he said, well, I disagree very much with what they have done tonight.
Did you see your boy Gobert held Chet Holmgren to only 4 points, by the way?
Yes, he did.
All right. What else?
I'm so proud of Rudy. I thought that was such a bad.
I didn't realize you guys were on first name basis. I apologize.
Yeah. I also speak French.
What's next?
Ooh, wee, wee. Our friend Gary Sharp asked D. Marinas from White and Blue Review today, if you had to nominate one player from Creighton for all Big East honors, who would it be? Matt then said, Baylor Shireman. Buy or sell, that would be your answer as well.
So this is and I heard this, and I heard Matt's response, and he hemmed and hawed about it for a minute. And I totally understand why. And I think he was having the same thought process I would. For me, it would be Baylor Shireman. But if it was the masses, if it was somebody that isn't covering this team on a day-to-day basis, I think it would be Ryan Kalkbrenner. So I think that's why Matt struggled to answer this question. That's why I do as well. But this team goes as far as Baylor Shireman goes. I know Trey Alexander has really turned it on since the calendars flipped to January, and Stephen Ashworth is playing a lot better. But we just gave credit to Anthony Edwards for his ability to be a wordsmith. We got to give credit to Baylor Shireman to dip his toe into NBA waters, take the criticism and the critiques that they gave him, and immediately show that change. Like, the difference between Baylor Shireman a year ago and a Baylor Shireman this year is his physique. And that's what he was told by NBA scouts. He's put on 20 pounds of muscle, and he looks like a completely different player. He was already pretty darn good beforehand.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's a far cry to say this has become Baylor Shireman's team. So I buy that Baylor Shireman's actually the right answer.
Yeah, and I 100% buy as well because stats wise, he's been playing the most for Creighton. 3.5 threes on average per game that have been made. He takes more than that, obviously, because he's not,
he's a shooter.
Shooter's going to shoot. But I just have to say, in every single Creighton game that I have watched this year, you will see Baylor Shireman go through, whether it's 5, 10, maybe even a whole half of just hitting that dry spell.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't buy a bucket, the bottom of the rim is just frozen over or something. It's like there's a lid on top of it.
It has gotten cold in Omaha.
I don't know what kind of mental game he knows how to play with himself, but it's like he talks to himself in his head and says, hey, you got to start making some of these shots.
Yeah.
You are good enough to lead this team into,
one of my favorite,
be the juice
on
this team. And he finds it. He finds it every game.
One of my favorite quotes of all time is from JJ Redick. And I don't think anybody would argue that JJ Redick's one of the best point up shooters in the history of college basketball. But he always said, I could always tell that I could get my shot right if I was long or if I was short because I'm on point. He said, if I'm left or I'm right, I know I'm off and it's going to be a long night. And I, ever since then, I watched that and it's almost exact with Baylor. Like, you'll see him come out sometimes and he'll start blowing kisses and drilling shots early. And then even at the later point of the game, he either starts going short or long because, like, to your point, he's playing a ton of minutes. But the nights where even he and Trey are left or right, you can already probably pencil in what the line's going to be. And it's almost the case. And that's not a knock on Baylor or Trey. That's just how basketball works. What else you got, Dan?
Well, we're going to move down to
really
Red,
quickly.
Nebraska.
I'm sorry, really quickly. This show is not on tomorrow night. The Creighton Athletics Hour is. Jalen Courtney Williams, Creighton assistant coach, the defensive coordinator for Creighton, is going to be in studio with me tomorrow night to start the show. So if you're a Jays fan, you like that breakdown, JCW in studio with me tomorrow.
And that'll be a good one.
It should be.
We always like it when JCW joins. We are halfway through the conference slate, and Nebraska ball is 5-5 in Big Ten play. Jimmy, you've been on board with Nebraska as being a tournament team. Buy or sell that Nebraska will punch their ticket to March Madness?
I've been positive. I've been positive all season, despite being labeled a Creighton guy. And that lost to Maryland on Saturday. And convincingly for a team that on paper you're supposed to be on the same line with. Both teams are on the bubble right now. Both teams are 5-5 in the Big Ten. That loss by 22 points on the road is a big one. Now, listen, you've got a chance to probably get everybody to put you on a line somewhere tomorrow when they take on Wisconsin at home. But your home slate the rest of the way, you've got to after tomorrow, you have to win every. If they lose, I'm going to make a statement right now. If they lose one game at home after Wisconsin tomorrow, they will not make the tournament. Who you have after Wisconsin is Michigan, Penn State, Minnesota, and Rutgers. None of those teams are going to help you if you beat them. They're all going to hurt you if you lose to them. You have to sweep those 4 games, in my opinion. And you've probably got to steal 1, if not 2, on the road. Nebraska's got a lot of work to do. They've played they played 3 of the bottom 15 teams in the country in their non-con. Their one good non-conference game, they lost. Yes, you still have that Purdue win to build off of, but you've got to finish strong here. And Fred Hoiberg, you've got a really good team, and losing by 22 in Big Ten play to a at best decent Maryland team, not great.
Not great. All right, final one, Jimmy. Cody Rhodes has won the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble and is set to face his champion of choosing at WrestleMania 40. Buy or sell the son of a plumber should face.
No. You read that wrong.
Buy or sell the son of. Excuse me. I apologize. Buy or sell the son of a plumber should face your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, at the Showcase of the Immortals.
First of all, Dan, I appreciate you acknowledging Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, as he is. So there's an interesting dynamic going on within the world of professional wrestling right now. So I think all signs pointed towards Cody Rhodes facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, and one Phil CM Punk Brooks taking on Seth Rollins in the other main event. WrestleMania is now 2 nights. CM Punk has torn his pectoral muscle off of the bone. That's not great.
No.
There's this guy that they're bringing in for the next pay-per-view named Dwayne. You may know him as The Rock. He is also Roman Reigns' cousin. They are rumored to be having a match at the following pay-per-view called the Elimination Chamber before WrestleMania. The Rock is also now a board member of TKO, which is the parent company of WWE. The WWE is going through a lot of legal issues right now, thanks to one Vince McMahon. May have just gotten a Hail Mary, because I don't think The Rock was slated for WrestleMania. This is going to happen. And Cody Rhodes is going to face Seth Rollins, which is going to be the better match, and you're probably going to get Rock versus Roman at Mania. Sometimes the stars do align. I don't feel bad for CM Punk because he's in the canoe. But yeah, this is WrestleMania 40 is shaping up to be one of the best pay-per-views in WWE history.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. And I don't feel bad for CM Punk either.
Yeah,
I am very much in your camp of being a CM Punk non-apologist and full-on hater.
We need a Roman Reigns acknowledge me drop on this on the show, which you can listen at any time. It's at soundcloud.com/afterhours 1620. It's brought to you by the Omaha Supernovas. If you missed their first game of the season, no big deal. You can catch the next game that's this Saturday against the San Diego Mojos. They come to the CHI Health Center. You can head over to supernovas.com and purchase your tickets today. We'll be right back, giving you good and trash takes. 1620 Zone.
Hey everyone, Dan Campanen here to remind you that it is a Wing Wednesday. You can head over to Twitter right now, follow the show at After Hours 1620, and follow at Caddyshack Omaha. Then retweet the GIF of our wings that we posted earlier, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win $25 gift card to Caddyshack at one of their two great locations tonight.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Clear to partly cloudy, not quite as chilly tonight, though we'll drop back into the low to mid 30s for a low. Mainly cloudy for Thursday. High temperatures still reaching the low to mid 50s and just a very slight chance of a sprinkle or two. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career and not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they host the San Diego Mojo on Saturday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. World-class professional volleyball right here in Nebraska at the CHI Health Center. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Graduation season will be here before you know it, and you can have the 402 barbecue truck come to your party or event you're hosting. Stop by the Brick and Mortar on 84th and Spring and try the food. Then, when you get the craving, come back and book the food truck to be the caterer for your event. Graduations, company outings, community events, they do it all. 402 Barbecue at 3027 South 84th Street. Stop by today and grab lunch.
Hey there, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Outdoor Nebraska update. It's hunting time in the Husker State. For a safe season, remember to be totally certain of your target and your background before you fire that shot. In a moment, ask yourself, is the bullet flight path clear? Is that a legitimate target? And what am I going to hit if I miss my shot? Please be careful out there. If you'd like more information on hunting safety, go to outdoornebraska.gov. That's outdoornebraska.gov. From wildfowl to owls. Great time of year to step outside and watch wildlife. Many animals are still active, plus the leaves have mostly fallen, vegetation is set back, and we'll have some warmer weather. Maybe you'll hike a state park trail or head to a public reservoir to do that. Oh, and don't forget your camera. Oh, it's on your phone. That's right. I'm Greg Wagner.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Foresman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:23 on a Wednesday night here on 1620 The Zone. Brian Munson from Husker Online. He's going to show us next, talk all things Nebraska recruiting. Before we get there, we have to get to our Papillion Sanitation trash takes of the night. Dan Campanen has jumped out of his seat to go first and volunteer tonight. Dan, you're on a bit of a hot streak. I don't know if you know this, but you've won the last 2 polls. So I need to step my game up here.
Well, to be honest, Jimmy, I may have another winner tonight.
Okay.
Depends on how many people who listen to our show are NBA fans, but
you've already lost, but go ahead.
Yeah, that will remain to be seen. So the 65 games to be eligible for postseason awards is a stupid rule.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say it's a necessity.
No, it is a dumb rule because we now officially have seen our first casualty of the 65 game rule go down. If you didn't see it last night, Joel Embiid got rolled on top of and his knee is basically getting x-rayed, and the prognosis, if you saw last night, did not look good. Joel Embiid is a mildly known flopper. That was not a flop last night. That was true pain, and that was an accident waiting to happen. He pushed himself to come back, most likely, and I don't want to say it was all because of the discourse that has been going on online over the past couple days, but a lot of it is believed to have been because of the, well, Joel Embiid is soft, quote unquote, discourse that has been coming out of Twitter, the internet, ESPN.com, professional sports reporters, unprofessional sports reporters. He is now officially most likely going to be done for the season. And as you so well pointed out in one of our breaks earlier, Jimmy, this has the potential to be a season ender.
Well, not even that, just big men who have knee injuries don't always come back better on the other side of it either. So you should have a lot of concerns if you're a 76ers fan. It's going to be interesting. And I mean, when there was a lot of people that didn't feel like he should have been the MVP last year, and he's probably not going to be this year after this news comes out. My trash take of the night, though, is if you're Kim English, you should probably be looking for your way out of Providence as soon as possible. This documentary's come out about Providence and why Ed Cooley left, and you've heard the worst part of basketball Twitter coming out and letting everyone know about Ed Cooley's personal life, and you can have your thoughts about that, whatever you want. I just don't think that should be something that should be in the public domain. Providence is a stepping stone job, and if you're a Friars fan, you need to be cautious about what you're saying about your previous head coach. It's like when you're leaving a job and you're interviewing somewhere else, you don't ever talk bad about your previous employer. Ed Cooley will not be the only coach who has success there and leaves that school. And you've really got to be careful when you have a budding superstar like a Kim English. You don't give him every reason to leave on top of being in Providence, Rhode Island. Like you need to coddle him and make everything sunshine and rainbows, because I'm telling you right now, as soon as jobs start opening up, and some of them are going to be a few bigger jobs in the grand scheme of college basketball here very shortly, Kim English is going to be on a lot of people's short list. So if you're Providence, be very cautious how you're treating your previous head coach so your current one sticks around a little while. Hey, if you missed the Papillion Sanitation trash takes tonight, make sure you head over to our Twitter page and vote on the poll for who had the best take tonight. The other person will have the trashiest take. And we will tell you who the winner was next week. And you can always listen to the segment if you missed it at SoundCloud.com/After Hours 1620 was brought to you by Forsman's Finest Decks. If you're like me and you can kind of see the grass starting to creep up through the snow in your yard and starting to get a little bit warm outside, it's 52 today. You don't have anything to do on your back patio. It's just got a concrete slab. Let the Finest Deck Builders in Omaha come build you a deck, put a cover on it, and add that something that your house has been missing. Head over Forsman's Finest Decks. Have your dream deck built this spring. We'll be right back talking to the best in the biz. Brian Munson joins us next here on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Dan Campion here for Pepper Jack's Grill. You know that Gunner Philly that I'm always talking about? Well, I eat 3 of them a day just to keep me strong and to keep my golf swing looking pretty. I can hit them right into anyone's mouth any time of the day, and I can get it any time of the day because Pepper Jack's has 10 great locations that is always convenient, hot, fresh, and ready to go. Get it with your grilled veggies, get it without, get it with extra cheese, add some jalapeno juice, and definitely try out their spicy ranch. Why don't you just go tonight? I've definitely already made you hungry, right?
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly, trash, or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at BUBruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
It's history in the making as the Omaha Supernovas, your Major League Volleyball team, continue their inaugural season as they host the San Diego Mojo on Saturday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. World-class professional volleyball right here in Nebraska at the CHI Health Center. Secure your tickets and get to know your Supernovas by visiting supernovas.com. That's supernovas.com.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
The temperatures are dropping fast, and Old Man Winter is right around the corner. If your home isn't going to win the battle against the cold this year, let the #1 roofer in Omaha for 12 consecutive years come fight the battle for you. Let Pyramid Roofing come out and replace your gutters, your siding, your windows. They do it all. Give Pyramid a call tonight at 402-502-9300 or check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. Tell Old Man Winter to take a hike.
PyramidRoof.com, never settle for less.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to ForsmansFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsmans can't do. Check out ForsmansFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at 10700 Sapp Brothers Drive in Omaha or at goingverticalomaha.com. That's goingverticalomaha.com.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:33 on a Wednesday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Papillion Sanitation. If your trash truck rolled by today and they didn't stop to pick up your trash, check out papillion-sanitation.com. Sign up for services today. Speaking of services, the best recruiting service on the planet is Husker Online and On3, and this gentleman works there. It's Brian Munson. B. Muntz, good evening, sir. How are you?
What's up, buddy?
I'll let you dictate how this goes. Do we want to start with Nebraska recruiting, or do you need a moment on the couch for your Buffalo Bills first?
Oh, you know what, man? So I'm kind of over the Bills thing. Look, my my deep down feeling is that is about as good of outcome as that they were going to have. I mean, I threw in the towel on them in November. They made the right thing. They did the right decision, and fired Dorsey. So good luck to all the Browns fans out there with him being your new offensive coordinator. But I really feel like the injuries were just too much at that point for them to get around. I mean, they just, they had a linebacker that was intending to retire, on Kelsey in the AFC Championship game. That's just not going to go well for you.
Right. Hey, I'm feeling like they can still make a run with what they've got with most of the nucleus there, but they need another wide receiver to go along with Diggs. I want to unpack kind of what you just said, but in a different way in regards to college recruiting, because we just found out today that you have the head coach at Boston College choosing to step away and go become the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, saying that
I saw that.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw his quote, but he mentioned that college football and college athletics has now become fundraising. Was that surprising to you, and do you think that's kind of where we are with NIL?
It is, and I could understand the frustration. I mean, look, I think we would all agree. I mean, I think Bill Pelini has spoken to it before about the differences between professional football and college football and recruiting. You have to be built in a way to be able to recruit, right? You've got to have a PR aspect, to it. You have to act a certain way. You have to be able to be presentable and get in front of people and be transparent and have great sales pitches. But now, with the whole NIL thing going on, you have to now be put in front of boosters. It's not just potential players. It's not just players' parents and guardians and family members or their coaches and counselors and whatever. It is now in front of these boosters. It's in front of your collective, the people running the collective. It's definitely changed. There's another face to it. There's another side to that job. And I would think most of them could kind of just, pick it up and run with it a little bit. They're probably still figuring out how to kind of do most of it. But I would also guess, just like the head coach at Boston College, that the additional need of that position to do those types of services just weren't his cup of tea. And I could certainly understand, moving on and getting to a game where I think the professional side, again, being a little bit more simple. It's a business. It's a business at that point. 53-man roster, salary cap, pretty kind of dictated to you in a lot of different ways, as opposed to some of the flexibility now that the NCAA has kind of done and screwed up the game a little bit with it right now. So, I understand it.
We're coming off the junior day last weekend, and we're getting set for the ramp up for the spring game. When do you think we start hearing about who's going to be in attendance from a recruiting standpoint for the Nebraska spring game?
That's such a great question. I was really pushing all the recruits hard, and I still have junior updates to go, guy. I mean, I'm telling you, I got another.
Don't sound so thrilled.
I have a 2025 quarterback offer interview to do tonight. I've got other junior updates to kind of get through. I've got getting to know articles on the guys that are already in Lincoln. So I just got stuff upon stuff I've got to get written up. But the spring game, I was trying to kind of remember how it went down last year, because this year hasn't been exact. It hasn't been exact to the point of, they didn't do this junior day or these junior days in January last year.
Right.
It was they were still they were so heavy into the portal. They were so heavy into trying to build their roster. They were really trying to button up the other half of the class. So that's different. Then they had a March big junior day, and that was a fairly significant one. And then obviously the April 15th, spring game was just a blowout. I mean, it was just, they had a ton of guys there.
So it was April 22nd.
April 22nd. My apologies.
I got married that day. That's the only reason I know.
Oh, look at you. Now you got a little helpful reminder
right.
to kind of go back, and it's reversed. It's like, what else happened on the day I got married? Nebraska at the spring game, first one underneath that rule. So I think that we started figuring things out shortly after that junior day in March. And I think it'll be about the same thing. I think that you will see some guys come in through spring practices. I think we're at a little bit of a different part of the process of the sine wave. We're kind of a little bit more on this uptick here, as opposed to trying to figure out where we're at on the wave. These guys now they're getting into their groove. They've been there now for 14, 15 months. They haven't been there just for 4. And so they're figuring this stuff out. And I think that what you're gonna see now is you probably do get another junior day here in March, but I think that they're going to ramp up the number of guys they try to bring into spring practices. So look for more guys that come into individual practices and kind of do it that way, and then take off, and then you will get some sort of then larger junior day on the spring game in April. So I think that we'll find out some things through the month of March. And then I think there'll be like a bigger release of information, as they kind of begin to confirm and get those guys together, and probably around, starting April 1st, working through the rest of that month.
Brian Munson from Husker Online and On3. Jones is here on Afterwards. You just mentioned a minute ago that you have a couple of guys to catch up on and write some articles about their junior day. There's only 20 visitors for that second junior day last weekend. Why do you think those numbers were so down?
I think that part of it was because you had some guys that couldn't make it into the 20th, and knowing where Nebraska is kind of at, like within the recruiting cycle for the 2024 class, that is that they don't need anybody. They're I don't expect anybody to sign with Nebraska next Wednesday. Not expecting it. So what would you rather do? What would you have rather have done? Would you have rather hosted a one-day junior day, both Saturdays in January, or would you have rather to have been scrambling around, trying to find the other half of your class, of the current class,
right?
And just coming out of the portal transfer stuff. So I think it was like a lesser of two evils. And I just think that what happened is that you just couldn't get everybody in there to that weekend on the 20th. So once it kind of spilled out, they said, oh, what the hey, let's just go ahead and put another one the 27th. We can get Jalen Williams in here. We can get Pierce Blueberry in here. We can get, a couple other guys here, obviously, that make some sense, that have some offers. You can get Caden Vermoss to show up for both weekends in the month. And, and then you honestly, one of the biggest things was you get a chance to start rolling Dylan Raiola into the whole recruiting repertoire, because you didn't have him that first weekend in January. So you get a little bit more of a chance to kind of maybe put a program, maybe put a plan together, and how you're going to kind of address things come March and April.
Obviously, there's a lot of talk. You mentioned Dylan Raiola now, but there's a lot of talk about the future quarterback situation, and it sounds like both Marcus Satterfield and Glenn Thomas are expected to visit Alex Mankey, the quarterback from Algona, Iowa State in the mix, Texas A&M in the mix. Do you think Nebraska is still in on a guy who didn't come to a junior day visit, or is it a matter of, he's a basketball player, he's probably a little bit busy? That's something we can worry about down the road.
I think Nebraska is still very much interested in Alex Mansky. I think that he should still be considered Nebraska's number one target. I think it's because of geography. I think it's because of his skill set. I think it's because of how he did last year at camp. I think it's what he's done and how he's acted and how many times he's gotten to Nebraska, prior to 2024. But to your point, had a chance to make it in the weekend of the 20th, decided to go ahead and go to Bryan College Station and check out Texas A&M after the Aggies had offered him. Basketball has gotten in the way. There is no doubt about it. Basketball is getting in the way of him. Basketball is getting in the way of the other 2025 quarterback that Nebraska just offered yesterday. It's one of those things right now, with both of those guys, that just it's a bit of a distraction. It makes it tough. I'm sure that the college coaches understand, and they're going to roll with the punches the best that they can when it comes to getting these guys on campus. But yeah, look, Nebraska was single-threaded They were absolutely single-threaded until, they decided to offer Matt Zollers, the kid from Pennsylvania.
Right.
And since Nebraska's offered him, that was kind of this gateway offer, and Georgia came walking through. A bunch of other offers came in Florida. And then Nebraska makes the offer yesterday to kind of pick up another guy that's a little bit more serious about the Huskers now. So, yeah, I think he's still number one. I think that, you're going to get the two OCs to go down there and check him out. It's a great kind of vote of confidence. But, I don't view the new guy as being kind of a second option. I kind of consider him to be like a 1B option. There's a lot to like there.
When we talk about the in-state recruiting for Nebraska, we've seen it like a major uptick. Obviously, you've got a guy in Chase Lofton that was just at USC last weekend. And he's headed to Alabama this weekend. You've seen the Caleb Bennings of the world. Christian Carter is a guy that's getting a ton of attention as well. What do you think the reason is for the jump in a national presence in the state of Nebraska?
These recruits have a lot of talent, and there are better and more ways to get that information out. Christian Jones.
Did I say Christian Carter? Sorry, yeah, Christian Jones. Sorry,
you did say Christian Carter. That's all right. I knew who you were talking about.
That's the point guard at Bellevue University, by the way. Christian Jones is the linebacker at Omaha Westside. Go ahead.
And Carter Nelson is the tight end that's committed to Nebraska. So I didn't realize who the point guard was, so I apologize. I jumped in there.
It's all good. It's all good.
These guys are talented. Number one, I mean, first, the thing like case in point, Chase Lofton goes down to OU and picks up an offer from the Sooners following a summer camp. I think that there's not a better way or a bigger way to tell people that you have arrived and that you are a national guy than to go down to Norman or go down to one of these camps like that, a Big 12 school, and pick up an offer. I mean, I think that was just like a huge calling card. And obviously the guy is incredibly talented. I think he's going to have a monster year at Millard South. And Christian Jones, this is a guy that, since transferring to West Side and watching what he has done physically, see what he does in track, watch what he does on the football field. He is an incredibly talented individual. It's still, I think that there's a fairly significant gap between Jones to Lofton when it comes to 1-2 in the state.
Right.
But there's even a bigger gap to everybody else. I mean, you've got two legitimate national recruits in Omaha this year, and I have never seen the type of traffic that's come through Omaha, except when it came to this year with these guys. I think it's really, really a huge pat on the back to those guys that, the hard work is paying off. And I think that this is one of those things that other players that have come before them, the Carter Nelsons out in Ainsworth, a little tougher to get to, the Malachi Coleman's before that. There's either some other guys before that too, but I think that's helped put the state on the map. Because there's been a lot of really big school offers that you typically wouldn't have seen, but this year it's just like, okay, like you're going to have these two, you're going to have a couple guys that are going to be like national guys. Now they're both in Omaha. It's really going to be a wild year for people in Omaha to watch this guy.
Millard South's getting ready to head to Arizona to play a game because obviously their head coach is formerly of an Arizona high school. Do you think that helps bring national attention to the Nebraska area just with the notion that something like that is taking place?
Totally. I mean, how amazing is it? So I just got on telling somebody this story the other day because Jalen Williams, the big defensive lineman that was in from Palatine, Illinois this last weekend, said he came to Nebraska with basically no expectations. He thought everything he was going to see was going to be fields as far as the eyes could see, that they would land the plane in the cornfield, there'd be wagon ruts basically from Omaha to Lincoln. And I love it when I hear these stories, even though I know it drives people crazy because we're talking about, 2024, it's 21st century, right? And you would figure by now people would figure this thing out, but they haven't. They haven't. These like bad habits of passing along these fairy tales, they die hard, but they die with the lips of a kid that takes an official visit to Nebraska and sees it firsthand and comes back and goes, you were totally wrong. Right. Now you're seeing the other side of this where people are going to see Millard South from Omaha, Nebraska is coming here to play us. Do they even play football in Nebraska? And then those dudes by then, you know, they can put up yards. They can put up yards. They can put up points. They have so much talent at the skill positions. That could be a real pinball machine kind of game for them, and it really could open up a lot of people's eyes about what kind of football is being played in the state of Nebraska. So yeah, I think it's one of those things that Nebraska football can kind of say, I have arrived, and put a big old stamp on it.
Do you hate Patrick Mahomes?
I hate his voice. No, honestly, you have to respect a guy like that. He is a heck of a quarterback, heck of a signal caller. I could have done without seeing Jason Kelsey in his man fur drinking the adult beverage, partying in Buffalo. I really could do without seeing Taylor Swift every other chance on the TV screen. But for the most part, no, it's all in good fun. We have a way of beating those guys in November and December in Kansas City. And we can never figure out how to beat them in January. So one of these years we're going to get that figured out.
Brian Munson, not a Swiftie. You heard it here first. We appreciate it, Munson. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good. Hey, actually, I will see you guys too in mid-February. Let's make some plans coming up there. February 15th, I'll be up there that next week. So maybe we'll do something live and in studio.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll figure that out, man.
Sounds great. We'll make it happen. That's Brian Munson. You can follow all of his work at Brian Munson _ on Twitter or at Husker Online as well. Munson, we'll talk to you next week. See ya. If you missed Brian's segment, check it out at SoundCloud.com/AfterHours1620. It was brought to you by our friends at Going Vertical Omaha. If you have a young athlete that needs help being recruited, like you just heard Brian talk about, but they don't really have a portfolio yet. They haven't been tested for a 40, or maybe you want to get a video recorder for coaches to hear their voice. You can do all that at Going Vertical. There's 5 basketball courts, a designated workout area, and a built-in podcast studio. Head over to goingverticalomaha.com to learn more today. We'll be right back with Super Dogs on a Wednesday night. Hey, but it's Jimmy Allen for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. We all know that wedding season is over in 2023. It'll be here before you know it in 2024. And if you need the premier suit buying experience in the Midwest, there's no better place to go for your big day than Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, centrally located on 78th and Dodge. Get your suit game right for your big day coming up in 2024.
There's never been a better time to choose a new career path than right now. Hi, I'm Tracy with Papillion Sanitation. If you're at a point in your life where you want a career, not a job, Papillion Sanitation is the place for you. From 401k options to opportunities for career advancement, come make Papillion Sanitation your future. Check out papillion-sanitation.com today to apply and make a change for the better. Papillion Sanitation, equal opportunity employer.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at 10700 Sap Brothers Drive in Omaha or at goingverticalomaha.com. That's goingverticalomaha.com.
Take your business to the next level. Reach more customers and expand your online presence. Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Pixel Fire Marketing creates high-quality professional websites tailored to your business. Their experts are with you every step of the way to make sure your website is visually appealing, user-friendly, and optimized for search engines. They also offer web design, development, hosting, and maintenance. Get started on your website. Visit pixelfiremarketing.com. That's pixelfiremarketing.com now to learn more.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
Are you a living, breathing human being? If so, you're someone who would benefit tremendously from the non-invasive therapies at West Omaha Cryo. Their facility is equipped with whole body cryo, red light, hyperbaric oxygen, infrared sauna, and pneumatic compression. Each therapy offers its own unique profile of health benefits that'll leave you feeling better than ever. And for a limited time, they're offering listeners an unlimited 1-week trial membership for just $39. Head on over to westocryo.com/after-hours to claim your offer.
Welcome back to the After Hours Block on a Wednesday night. Last show of the week, unfortunately. So that means it's time for our Supernova picks with Dan Campbell. And I will do here is we will each pick 3 underdogs we do tonight in the next coming days to outright win despite being underdogs in their game. Dan, do you want to start us off?
Yes. And real quick, as a fast side note, I would like to say congratulations to the Creighton women tonight.
Ah, okay.
They got the big W.
I saw that the game had 2 minutes left. I didn't see that it ended. So congrats to Jim Flannery and his team.
Morgan Molly, 21 points.
She's a dude.
Killed it tonight. They won in a close one. It was a squeaker, but they pulled it out in the end. So go Jays.
All right.
I would do my John Bishop scream, but I can't.
Please
right
don't.
Now.
Yeah, just give us your picks.
Yes. The San Jose Sharks are taking on the Anaheim Ducks tonight.
That's
in
hockey.
Anaheim. Give me the Sharks in that one. As well as Hofstra is taking on Stony Brook. And surprisingly, Stony Brook is the underdog in this one. So give me the Stone Brook. And then...
Do people remember Marcus Colston?
I think some do.
Okay,
I'm not one of them.
You don't know who Marcus Colston is?
It's not ringing a bell.
Saints wide receiver that went to Hofstra.
Oh, see, there you go. All right. And then tomorrow in the afternoon. I say afternoon like the show's on in the afternoon. At night tomorrow, the Indiana Pacers are taking their talents to Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a good one. 2 hot teams facing off in very hot game tomorrow night. And the Pacers are going to pull out a win in Madison Square Garden in front of people who pay too much money to watch a basketball game.
Yeah, probably. Especially a bad basketball team at that. I am going to go with...
We can discuss that next time we're on air.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jalen Brunson's really great. And That's about it. Hey, give me Manhattan plus 2.5 at home against Quinnipiac tomorrow. Manhattan wins more than any other team in the country as an underdog over the last 2 seasons. Give me UNO as well as a home dog against the St. Thomas Tommies on the road tomorrow. And then give me Arkansas Little Rock as a +6 underdog at Southern Illinois, Edwardsville tomorrow. Little Rock is one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. If you missed any of the show tonight, check it out, soundcloud.com/afterhours. 1620 was brought to you by Pyramid Roofing. Gets a little drafty in your house. You can hear the wind just whistling through those old, outdated windows. Let the number one roofer in Omaha, 12 consecutive years, take care of your roof, your windows, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Give Pyramid Roofing a call at 402-502-9300. Check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate today. For Dan Campen, and I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy birthday, Matt Rule.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation. At Papillion Sanitation, trash and recycling is our passion. From residential to commercial, we've cleaned up Omaha and surrounding areas for more than 30 years. So if your home or business needs reliable, friendly trash or recycle service, check out papillion-sanitation.com today and see how our customer service and professionalism can't be matched. Head over to papillion-sanitation.com to upgrade your trash or recycling service today.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at bubruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you think Caddyshack, you think about an unforgettable dining experience. Stop in for Meatloaf Monday for just $10.95. Tuesdays are all about the happy with dollar drinks during all-day happy hour. Celebrate a Wing Wednesday with After Hours. Thursday is Spaghetti Night for $10.95 a plate. Or grab some lunch on Fridays with the $12.95 hot beef sandwich. Caddyshack. 2 great locations off of 117th and Blondo and 180th and Harrison. The official watering hole of After Hours on 1620 The Zone.
It's cold, it's windy, you're stuck inside, but not for long. Spring will be here before you know it. And if you want to get off the couch and enjoy the outdoors when the mercury starts to rise, head over to Foresman'sFinest.com today. Let the finest deck builders in the Omaha area come build you an outdoor experience you will love. A deck, a patio with a cover, there isn't much Forsman's can't do. Check out Foresman'sFinest.com and have your dream outdoor experience in 2024.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the academy at 10700 Sapp Brothers Drive in Omaha or at goingverticalomaha.com. That's goingverticalomaha.com.
Take your business to the next level. Reach more customers and expand your online presence. Pixel Fire Marketing is here to help. Pixel Fire Marketing creates high-quality professional websites tailored to your business. Their experts are with you every step of the way to make sure your website is visually appealing, user-friendly, and optimized for search engines. They also offer web design, development, hosting, and maintenance. Get started on your website. Visit pixelfiremarketing.com. That's pixelfiremarketing.com now to learn more.
Pro volleyball season is here in Omaha. Chesterman Coca-Cola and Hy-Vee have partnered with the Omaha Supernovas. Right now, when you stop by any Omaha area Hy-Vee and pick up 2 12-packs of Coke, you can get a third one free. Plus, if you need to stay hydrated, do it with the all-new Body Armor Zero Sugar. You can get 10 for just $10. Coke and any Hy-Vee, keeping the Omaha Supernovas super.
Margot felt quite exquisite as she dipped her fries in mayo, gracefully extending her pinky to the sky. See, she had just saved by getting Cox Mobile for her family. Yes, more lines, more savings, Margot. Brilliant. She finished her cherry slush drink with a triumphant, exquisite indeed. Visit a Cox store and pay as low as $30 a line for 4 or more unlimited lines. 4 lines required for $30 per line price, max of 5 lines. Prices exclude taxes, device activation, and other fees and charges. Other restrictions apply.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.